Hi everybody, welcome back to this week's Tuesday Tip. Today we're going to be talking about starts, specifically flat starts when you're going off of the blocks. First thing you want to do is when you're going into or setting up for a good start is your feet placement. There's two good ways, two good tricks to learn how to properly place your feet on the blocks. If you do not have a wedge on your block, what you want to do is have enough space between your feet where you can place one hand in between, both horizontally and vertically. So if you were going down into a take your mark and you were to place your feet this way, I should narrow it up a little bit. If your hand fits in between this way and this way, this is a good place to, good way to place your feet. Okay, an alternative method is imagine yourself standing on like a beam, one foot right behind the other. What you're gonna do is you take your back foot, lift your back toes, pivot 90 degrees, place them down. Then you lift your back heel, pivot another 90, place it down. Okay? This is another alternative way to place your feet. Once you've placed your feet and you're down in that take your mark position with your hips up high, what you want to be doing is placing about 80% or more of your weight on that front foot, leaning so far forward that your collarbone is past the edge of the block. Okay? It should almost feel like we're about to fall in. We're leaning so far forward, and the first step is what your arms are gonna be doing, okay? What you wanna be doing, you're down in that take your mark position, your elbows are tucked back, your hands are grabbing the sides of the block, and you wanna do a little tuck. Reason being is because we wanna move our center of gravity off the edge of the block so we're here, okay? If we don't pull on the block with our arms and keep our center of gravity on top of the blocks, when we jump, we're applying downward force, meaning we're gonna jump up really high and enter the water really steep, okay? Meaning that our angle is incorrect. What we wanna be doing is moving our center of gravity off the blocks, so when we push on the blocks, we're pushing the blocks towards the wall, not the ground. Moving ourselves forward, keeping our angle nice and clean. The second step is the back foot, okay? Where 20% of your weight is. It's just a little bit of a push, especially if you're on that fin, your heel's gonna be off the fin. You push off that back foot, but it's mainly used for that balance aspect. You want to keep your hips even so that when you jump off the blocks, we're not entering on our side. We're entering clean. And then the third step is the front foot, okay? Notice on my wonderful artwork that this person is nearly parallel with the water, and his foot is still on the edge of the block. It's the very last thing to leave the block. 80% of that weight and 80% of that power is coming off of that front foot, okay? He pulled himself off well enough to where his center of gravity is off. He jumps using 80% of his power on this front foot, okay? And on the entry, he will get his legs together. Something that's up for a little bit of a debate, but a lot of elite athletes are doing this part as getting your arms back up top. Okay, a lot of elite athletes are coming up a little bit wider, not necessarily a butterfly stroke because that involves like a rounded back, but their arms come up wide because when they're in streamline, it's easier to keep that chin tucked. If your hands come from underneath, when you go up in the streamline, it's a force of habit to lift your head, and when we enter, your arms are kind of in streamline like this because our head is up, our forehead's not in line. So it's not a clean entry. Ask your coach, see what works well for you. So that concludes today's Tuesday Tip about starts. We would like to add a segment to be a little bit more interactive with you, the viewers. So if you would like to leave any suggestions about techniques that you would like to see covered on these videos or questions about techniques that we've already covered, please use Instagram or YouTube to reach out to us, and we will do our best to respond to those questions or suggestions promptly. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.